Happy Friday to my basics bitches out there. This is Friday No Filter, where we unleash the rant on the basics of health. Each Friday, we tear down the glossy facade and dive headfirst into the nitty-gritty of what it takes to thrive in the chaos of modern health. No frills, no fluff, just straight talk about what matters. It's time to embrace the chaos on your own journey and give a big, bold middle finger to the status quo. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Call Me Skinny, Friday No Filter. Super excited to be here with you today. Thanks for tuning in. Also, for real, whoever is in China, hi, because you are downloading my shit like even more so than I thought you were before. It's still going on. I appreciate you for that. And if you love what you see, this is for everybody that I go word of mouth. So screenshot this, share it on your socials, please. I'm only word of mouth. That is how I get around. But okay. Seriously though, that would be great. That would be amazing and wonderful. Okay. First thing we're talking about is if you are on my email list, you know that I'm getting ready to release something called BOD, Basics on Demand. I believe I talked about this a little bit on Wednesday. It does release on the 29th. So be sure to get in. Up to 50 people, and I already have some people in it. We have a launch price of $29 a month. After that, it will go up. It will go up in price. So I'm excited about this. I'm fine-tuning everything. I'm adding in more programs, adding in more videos on the on-demand part of it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a slow build, but also there's already stuff in there. Like you can literally get it, take action, and start. Like you don't have to wait for anything to happen. So I'm really excited about that. So that being said, I want to elaborate a little bit on something I had briefly touched on in Wednesday's podcast. And the thing that I wanted to touch on is the fact that we need to be adding in a little bit more of things, a little bit, instead of everything we try to do, we try to like take away carbs, take away time, take away sweat, be in pain, do all these things, right? We try to become less and less and less. And to do that, we eat less and things. It's just like, we need to understand the concept of adding in more. How can I add in more to my life to make it better, to still get this result that I want? I'm going to give you some examples here because I talked about teaching versus, telling versus teaching on Wednesday. If I tell you all these things to do, if I tell you exactly what's going to happen, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. So like, for instance, tomorrow I actually have a group coaching call, not a group coaching call. I have a call with somebody in group coaching because she's really kind of unsure on what to do, where to begin. And, I keep in a generality being pretty ambiguous about like, pick water if that's what works for you. Pick this if that's what works for you. For her, it's very overwhelming to even try to remotely think about what would work. And that tells me, one, she isn't adding enough rest or pause, something I'm working on myself, into her life. But it doesn't even have to be just rest and pause, right? When we talk about adding more, I'm going to tell you some things. I'm going to tell you so you can choose one of something that makes sense for you. I'm going to educate you on how to add in more to get the result. What I mean by this, very simply, if you were to drink more water, you would get more of a result. If you were to add more protein in, you would get more of a result. If you were to add more walking in, you would get more of a result, right? The list goes on. If you get more sleep, if you have more stress management, if you make more time for yourself, if you make time to slow down for yourself, all these things. It's all about actually more versus less. More whole foods than not, right? More things that have nutritional value than don't. But yet we're always so focused on the less. And I talked about that real briefly towards the end of the podcast on Wednesday about, adding more into your life. We need to be adding more when it comes to certain things, right? I'm not talking about more training so that you're stressed out as shit. That's not what I mean when I say add in more. I'm literally talking about things like the things that are going to be levers that get us to move the needle, that get us to push forward, that get us to the result that we want, right? Taking away food actually does a lot more harm then good. Now, you're going to be like, Sarah, but you have to be in a calorie deficit. Yes, that is true. But that doesn't mean being in a calorie deficit, you have to starve yourself or be so unhappy and eat gracious things. Like I'm actually going to go through some of these things, I think maybe next week on the podcast about, I found this group that I was in 2016 and 17. And it was this like healthy, supportive group. And it was from somebody that I knew. And I joined this group and I was reading some of these posts. I found some of these posts, which I'm really excited about because I didn't do a great job documenting my journey. Wow, there's some great documentation here. Okay. But I noticed in some of these posts, I was doing things like eating cauliflower rice and having chicken crusted pizza or cauliflower riced pizza that I would make homemade. And then I was trying to really like take out the things that I really enjoyed, like potatoes or rice, and replacing it with things that were like, I'm eating it, but I'm not so sure I like it. Okay. And that creates problems. That creates big problems. So we need to stop this taking away things that are enjoyment in our lives. Like for me, I took away, resting and slowing down. I've never been great at that. And that's something I need to add more of in my life. So that's something I'm working on, right? I'm not going to take all the things and add in all the things at once and do all these things and it's all going to be crazy. I'm going to pick one. My main focus right now was taking moments to myself that I don't get, that I don't take because I feel guilty, ashamed, lazy if I do. So this is something I'm working through. I need to add more of these moments in my life. And guess what? My life is actually going to improve because of it. My life is going to get better. My business will grow. My client relationships are going to grow. My relationships with my family are going to grow. My relationship with myself is going to grow. All these things are going to benefit from me adding in more versus taking things away. Okay. And that's really the name of the game. So the question becomes, what is something that you can do right now in this moment when you're done listening to this, or when you get home from work, or wherever you're at, that you can add more of in your life that you need, that can make your life better? If protein sounds like disgusting to you, but like, man, you're like, man, I really, it's been really nice out the last couple of days. I should go on a walk. Go for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. That's all you got to do. See what happens. If you like it, add in more time. Go for 4 the next day. Go for 5 the next day. That's what I did. I started out by laying on my couch for 2 minutes. That was very difficult. 2 minutes. That was it. 2 minutes. Okay. The next day I got to 4 minutes. The next day I stayed at 4 minutes because 4 minutes was a long time. But it's the point that I have done that more now. And even in this last week, minus today. Here's a prime example of that. I did not take any time for myself today. I did not lay on my floor. I did not take any moments to myself. And I'm not talking like I was by myself in my office working. I'm talking about like where I laid on the floor and I didn't do anything. And I had a complete blowout tonight. It was awful. It's terrible. I literally was like a 2-year-old tantrum. I got frustrated. I got mad. I got, what's the word? I was tapped out. I was tapped out. I didn't take any time for myself today, though. Not one little iota bit of time. Nothing. And that's why, I got to the end of the night and I was like, oh shit, this is not good. This is why. And it was a red flag for me. Like, this is why you need to do this. Add in more to your life versus taking out. Okay. So that being said, this is it. Basics on Demand goes live on Monday. Gosh, I didn't even realize 29th is Monday, isn't it? So that's crazy. If you have questions about it, if you're interested in it, I can get you in right now. All you got to do is shoot me a DM and we're ready to rock and roll. You can get in. So just let me know. I just send you the link and away we go. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you figure out something this weekend or today or something like that you can add more in that is going to grow in your life, that is going to make you better, that is going to help you move your needle forward on your journey. I will catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening today. If you laughed, learned, or just felt a vibe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support keeps this ass train chugging along. If you're ready to embrace the basics with a twist, follow me on social media. Links are in the show notes, and let's see the ways we can work together. All right, basics bitches, you're not just listeners, you're part of the revolution. Remember, skinny's out, basics are in, and you're looking damn good doing it. So until next time, stay basic.